Hiya, welcome to my Compound Life. I'm your host, Jonathan. This is a channel where we build assets, we build habits, we build freedom, and that should hopefully be financial freedom for all of us. Welcome. Good to see you, and you, and you, and the other you. Yeah, all of you. Okay. So thanks again for whomever subscribed to me recently. I think I'm on the 12 subscribers right now. So if you can do me a favor, hit the like. Even if you don't like my content, right? Just hit the like anyway. Help a small content creator out, right? Just hit the like, hit subscribe where possible, so that you don't miss any of my video or my content. I will try and create more daily content to talk about how I go about in building wealth for myself and how I got into my early retirement days, right? Actually, I'm kind of just going through my early retirement, by the way. So yeah, I will keep on continuing to share with you my journey so far. Okay, so in today's video, in this specific video, what I want to talk a little bit about is Bitcoin again, because such a interesting topic to talk about, right? I think with so much tailwinds right now, there can potentially be few important outcomes, right, in the coming, assuming we are nearing the end of this quarter, right? So there will only be a few important outcomes, right? So I'm just thinking out loud. Outcome number one will be man, that's pretty bad. That lady shouldn't be driving from there. Oh, you didn't see that. That lady was ridiculous. Okay, so there should be. I'm thinking out loud. There can be three outcomes, right? Outcome number one will be we completely finish the 4-year cycle this quarter, Bitcoin cycle, that means, right? And then there will be a huge coming dead cat bounce, okay? And that would be kind of like an opportunity of a lifetime, or been given a second opportunity to get the hell out, right? Or, like many are speculating right now, Bitcoin and crypto cycle indeed follows through the business cycle, right? So that means next year would be the euphoric Bitcoin all-time high, right? So in that case, come on, do you want to go? In that case, so yeah, that would be the second outcome. Too many of you. So that would be the second outcome, where we get into the euphoric Bitcoin all-time high by next year. Okay, the third outcome essentially will be nothing happens, and then we are essentially entering the bear market, and it will be such a big collapse that immediately by quarter two, we enter very, very bearish situation across Bitcoin, crypto, and at the same time or stocks, equity market also fall, right? So that would be three different scenarios that can probably happen, right? if that's the case, which one do you think might pan out? So drop a comment, let me know, because I'm kind of thinking, what exactly should I really be doing, right? So imagine if it's scenario one, we have a good dead cat bounce, that's perfect. I can start to wiggle out some of my position for my swing back, right? And at the same time, I'm also thinking out loud, apart from wiggling my way out of my swing back, I get to get the hell out of all of my crypto bags, like the shitcoin bags. That's good, right? But even if I do get out, what do I get out into, right? So I think very likely it's all gonna have to go into stable coins or some sort, right? So be it for USDT, USDC, and prepare myself to re-enter during the the Bitcoin bear market cycle, right? But having said that, what if option 2 pans out, right? Where I kind of sold, and then somehow, it isn't a dead cat bounce, and somehow Bitcoin goes back to another all-time high from another all-time high. So you may have listened to Tom Lee's video earlier I played, where Tom Lee is still very, very, very bullish. He said 4-year cycle is dead. Bitcoin now follows the business cycle, and kind of hinting that a lot of he also gave some bold Bitcoin prediction of 200,000 for Bitcoin. Essentially, will I be cashing out, selling my swing back too early, right? Because I mean, obviously Tom Lee never gave us any indication of timing when he gave the bold prediction of 200,000, right? He didn't say January next year or by end of next year, right? To me, it sounded like Tom Lee is trying to protect his ass, right? Because Bitcoin and Ethereum underperform so much, right? So his company, I think he was like vouching for his company because they've been accumulating Ethereum at quite a high price range. Of course, they've been dollar cost averaging in trying to buy Ethereum almost on a weekly basis. But it does seem like maybe Tom Lee is trying to protect his bag, right? So that's the dilemma of, will we go higher, or is Tom Lee right or is Tom Lee wrong, right? So in that case, I think all I want to say is, what, at any point of time, right? At any point of time, we are so close to getting back to $95,000 per Bitcoin, right? And then we are inching very, very much closer to the 50 days moving average, okay? In that case, I would suggest all of you guys to have a de-risking plan in place, right? To start to de-risk, because I don't personally see any immediate rebounds of Bitcoin, especially after listening to Plan B's video yesterday, right? Because how Plan B mentioned was I think he's also on seated on the fence now. Where are we in a bullish trends or are we in a bearish trends? I think his indicators, his model is also giving him mixed signal. And to that extent, he also explained the fact that, this time around, Bitcoin is pretty much driven not by retail, right? It's still definitely retail buying, but Bitcoin is very much so driven by, institutions where a lot of portfolio rebalancing will happen, right? So take for instance, Bank of America, right, are encouraging people to have at least 4% assigned onto Bitcoin and crypto. Let's just call it Bitcoin for now, right? So take for instance, at any time, right, if and knowing the fact that Bitcoin has more of an exponential growth than any other assets, right? So when big companies or big portfolio, when they go about in managing their portfolio, if that portfolio outperform by about 6%, right? Essentially what that means, on a quarterly basis, they might sell, the other 2%, right? To make it back into 4% again, right? So, unlike retail investors, unlike us, that we've been through multiple Bitcoin cycle, where essentially we'll sell when it gets to the all-time high scenario. We either all in to buy at the bottom and then all out at the top. So it does seem that euphoria, bull run, or that parabolic movement of Bitcoin price essentially is gone now, right? So if that's the case, you know what, if you are in profit already, if you are already in very good profits for Bitcoin, I suggest de-risking makes absolute sense, right? And if Bitcoin doesn't bounce, although what we're currently seeing right now, the ETH to BTC chart, I think ETH are getting back more dominance, right? Despite the fact that if Bitcoin cannot get back to another all-time high, and then Ethereum also have the same issues too, right? That means all of your other crypto bags, the shitcoin bags that you hold, will not perform too, right? So bear that in mind. And the best thing that you want to do now is to de-risk as much as possible, okay? Why am I talking about that, right? Because de-risking helps you to get back into stablecoin. De-risking helps you back in to become liquid again, right? And very likely what's going to happen with the US Fed, right? They are applying quantitative easing right now. They're not going to apply that forever, right? And then very likely it will be switched back into quantitative tightening, perhaps towards end of next year, right? So you've got some time now to de-risk, maybe onto Q2 at max next year, right? And then afterwards, you'll be in cash, you'll be in stablecoin, you'll be in liquid, and essentially redeploy some of this capital again towards end of next year, right? So that timing, it's very short, right? So for you to de-risk, when we get that exact next bounce, you know what? No, I'm not leaving. No, I'm not leaving. So from de-risking now onto the next timing to re-enter, it's now less than 1 year, maybe 10 months, 11 months, right? So you are holding cash, you are being liquid, and that's the things that you need to do. Well, at least that's the thing that I'll be planning to do, right? So yeah, I think that's a tiny little advice that I want to give to all of you guys. Yes, hit subscribe, hit the like button, please become my 13th, 14th, 15th subscriber. Just drop a comment and let me know what do you think, right? Are you getting out at around 100,000, de-risking at around 100,000, right? Or let me know your current situation on comment, so that we can also, try and figure out exactly what we should really be doing too. Okay, so thanks for watching, and great to see you at my Compound Live, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.